Tonight. Believe it or not, our chef just does not make them right. You do? Great. We will take half a dozen of those, please. Yes, and Mr. Chandler will be there himself to pick them up in a few minutes. Okay, thank you.
Something special going on?
Yes. But it's just between Adam and me. Giving Adam a beautiful dinner is the least I can do.
Even if you have to order out?
Well, I did try my hand at some canapes. Try one. Let me know if it's Adam-worthy.
You really got a thing for Adam, don't you?
A thing? I guess that depends on what your definition of a thing is.
I thought this was all about him being grateful to you for saving his life that night.
I wish I could have saved your father's life that night as well. I'm sorry. He was a really wonderful man. I was probably the last person to see him alive. Other than the killer, of course. He just seemed really excited that night to be doing business with Adam again on your behalf, and... You didn't comment on the canapé. Tasty?
Yes, they're good.
Good. Do you ever smile?
Not been very much to smile about lately.
Try. For me. See? There, and it's such a nice smile. Listen, I'm sure things have been really horrible for you since your dad died. But you should try to smile more often. You don't want people in this town to get the wrong impression of you. Like they've gotten the wrong impression of me.
Have they?
Oh, yeah. They think I'm just trying to soak up Adam for all his money, which couldn't be further from the truth. I just want my freedom, and I really enjoy his company. What's so wrong about that?
Oh, I don't remember saying there was anything wrong with that.
Your father was a little misunderstood sometimes, too, wasn't he?
Until you got to know him.
People in this town can be so cruel. So judgmental. They do it to Adam, too, you know. Adam just wants his family close again. I mean, you, JR, Colby, little A, he just wants a real family. That's all I want, too. I just want to be close to my daughter, and I just want a real family again.
Don't believe a word that she says. She's just trying to suck up to you, you know that. She's trying to pull as many Chandlers close to her as she can before she cons my father into marrying her. Now, I don't know if she's doing it for the money or if she's just strictly doing it for the street cred.
What did I do to deserve all these insults, JR?
I don't know, Annie. You killed my Uncle Stuart, maybe?
You were treading on dangerous ground, JR. Don't forget, Adam chose me over you and your son.
Yeah, so much for keeping family close. Hey, Scott, did you ever check these out over here, these wedding albums? They're, marked in gold leaf on the side here. There's, Liza 1, Liza 2, Erica, and there's no Dixie. Well, I guess after he kills them, he just gets rid of their memories.
Killed them?
Yeah, you didn't know? Old man Campia says he didn't poison my mom after all. Tad was ready to take my dad down to the police station for questioning. That was before he got shot. Now Tad's on this live and let live kick. Campius is probably just after, you know, some attention. But I don't know. My dad's been acting crazy. Almost as crazy when you bashed your brother's skull in.
Okay. Why don't you dial it down before things get ugly?
Too late, Scott. It got ugly the second JR walked through that door. If you don't mind, this dinner party is by invitation only.
Who's here? And unfortunately, company. This is Mr. Willis. Mr. Willis is taking over for DA North.
Mr. Willis?
Now, this is my son, JR, and my nephew, Scott.
Gentlemen, in the next day or two, I'm going to want to talk to both of you about the night of the murder. But for now, I'd like to interview Mr. Chandler and Mrs. Lavery in private.
Oh, well, that's all right. This atmosphere was getting a bit stale for me anyhow. You know, when I walked in here, you had that warm, fuzzy look on your face. Don't go there. She's She's like a trapdoor spider. She'll suck you right on in.
Hey, guys. I saw you come in. I wondered if I could ask you a couple of questions.
About?
I'm on Kendall's defense team now, working for Liza.
Don't ask away.
You saw Annie that night, right? You struggled with her over the gun that she had?
Yeah. I was pretty drunk. I don't really remember too much. I know that I fell down and she got away.
She had a chance to run away with her daughter. But she didn't. If she was the killer, that doesn't make sense.
You don't know Annie. Her history may say that she's a pure psycho, but she's more like a smart psycho. She gets away with a lot more, slips through the cracks. I'll tell you what. If Liza needs me, I'm available at any time. Okay?
Thanks. What do you think?
I think all this talk about Annie, my father has become a footnote. You want to be a good lawyer? You want to help people? Don't ever forget about the victim. The wrong man died that night. It was supposed to be Adam and not my dad. Nobody even talks about that anymore. My father lived and died in Adam's shadow.
No, not in your eyes. I heard the way you talked about him at the funeral. To you, he was a giant compared to Adam. And isn't that what mattered to Stuart? That the people he loved him for who he was?
I just don't want him to be forgotten. Whoever is responsible for this, I hope you uncover the truth. I do. Just don't let people forget who this is really all about.